hear anything.
There's ominous feelings that have been reported of solid.
Out here, danger doesn't always come with a warning. It shows up fast, silent, and already too close. From a mountain lion stepping out of the trees with no way to escape, to a boat spinning out of control after throwing its riders into open water. When everything goes wrong in seconds, would you recognize the danger in time or react too late? An elk hunter in Idaho experienced how quickly a routine hunt can turn dangerous. A mountain lion stepped out from the trees and began moving closer, its behavior shifting toward a potential attack.
Get back.
With no clear path to retreat, the hunter was forced to fire. Encounters like this show how quietly predators can approach and why constant awareness and preparation are essential in the wilderness. How much warning would you have before it was too late? On October 21st, Eric sat in a tree stand overlooking a cornfield, attempting to film his first solo hunt as strong southern winds over 30 miles per hour shook the tree and drowned out surrounding noise. Hours of exposure left him physically and mentally exhausted, and the conditions made it nearly impossible to detect anything approaching. When several deer suddenly ran across the field, the shift was immediate. Moments later, a large black bear stepped out from the woods and moved along the edge of the cornfield, closing to just a few yards.
Shaking. There was 5 or 6 deer out here in the field, and all of a sudden they took off. I got good wind. I don't know what they saw. All of a sudden this big black bear comes out of the woods over here, comes right down the edge of this cornfield. I just shot it at like 3 yards, laying over here dead. I gotta calm down a little bit before I get down. Dude, he was about ready to come up my tree. I gotta sit down. I'd like to find my arrow. Okay, so he broke my arrow off. Okay. Holy cats. Dude, that was the most crazy thing I've ever done. Coming on you. Not that we need it. Lots of blood. Okay, just go over the fence here. Right there. What in the world are you gonna do with this thing, Eric? Okay. Well, I waited a while. I know he's not faking it. Oh, there's my arrow. There's the back half of my arrow. Good. There's the back of the arrow. Oh, lost my nock.
Eric fired, then waited before climbing down where he found heavy blood and a broken arrow confirming the bear had been brought down. What allowed him to survive was reacting quickly under pressure, proper shot placement, and recognizing the warning signs shown by the fleeing deer. In situations where wind and terrain remove your early warnings, or how ready are you to act when danger appears within arm's reach? A group on a walking safari in Zimbabwe noticed a lion acting differently as it locked its gaze and showed increasing aggression. The guide responded immediately, instructing everyone to stay back while the animal moved closer.
Uh-oh. Stand or walk? Uh-oh. Stand or walk?
Turn off the cameras now.
Filming continued until the guide calmly told them to stop. What happened next was not shown, but the message is clear. Experienced guides can recognize danger early, and minimizing movement can help prevent escalation. In moments like this, following instructions can mean survival. Would you choose safety over curiosity in time? This footage comes from Wildcat Adventures, a United Kingdom-based wilderness exploration channel. She travels alone into remote environments to wildcamp forage practice, bushcraft swim, and explore untouched landscapes. Her content focuses on immersive solo survival isolation and the raw beauty of nature. It is December 15th, 2025 deep within dense New Zealand bush.
Hi, I'm Kat, and today we're heading deep into the jungle of New Zealand. As I wandered through the lush forest, I couldn't help but marvel at the massive tree ferns all around me. But as I sat up camp and the sun went down, the jungle woke up, and suddenly the adventure became very real.
She arrives at a secluded campsite beside a quiet stream, surrounded by thick vegetation on all sides. She sets up her tent and repairs a leaking air mat with shoe glue, aware that even minor problems can feel much more serious when completely alone. As night sets in, she prepares a freeze-dried meal of apricot chicken, followed by sticky date pudding and custard. She eats near the river as the bush darkens and begins to feel more enclosed.
I don't know if you can hear that, but whatever it is, I have no idea.
Rustling breaks the silence. The movement sounds heavy and close. Kat pauses and listens, trying to figure out what might be moving through the dense vegetation nearby.
The only thing I think to be worried about in these woods would be wild boar, because they are big and strong and could easily trample the tent. Put my food rubbish outside the tent just in case they can have that. Yeah, hopefully I'll be alright and I'll see you in the morning.
The noises return throughout the night, not constant, but irregular and unpredictable. Although tense and alert, fatigue eventually takes over, and she falls asleep knowing that whatever caused the sounds could still be nearby. Morning changes the atmosphere. Kat wakes to find her air mat completely deflated, yet the unease from the night slowly fades as a calm sunrise settles over the stream. If you heard those noises outside your tent, would you stay calm or begin to imagine something worse? This footage comes from After Dark Crew, a channel dedicated to exploring abandoned and forgotten locations. It is January 17th, 2026 at Hill 60, a coastal site that contains abandoned World War II bunker systems.
We're out here at Port Kembla, and we're about to go explore some abandoned World War II bunkers and tunnels for you all.
There's ominous feelings that have been reported of soldiers, though there's no specific details on what soldiers.
And, well, this facility housed two 6-inch military, what do you call it, cannons? Weapons?
2 6-inch guns, I believe.
Believe it or not, they were actually only fired twice in history.
And just another tidbit about the guns, the actual steel that's used to make the cannons was recycled from older World War I warships.
The main design is in the shape of a H, and they in some of those rooms they used to store a lot of their gunpowder and ammunition and stuff like that.
Shortly after moving deeper into the tunnels, the camera glitches again and briefly cuts out. Although the recording resumes, the malfunction increases tension as the group continues underground.
What was that?
Fucking damn, it's on camera there.
There's a mob. Turn off this flash. Was that SpongeBob there? Yeah, bro.
As they navigate through the bunker network, a sudden unexplained noise interrupts them. A brief moment of panic follows as door shadows and unfamiliar shapes seem to form within the darkness.
I almost pissed myself at Mom's.
Jump out and like, I don't think I'm with you, so I'll just squeeze it.
My heart sunk, lad. I sat there. Nathan has never been more scared in his life.
A sharp bang echoes through the tunnels, sounding close and forceful. One member reacts immediately, clearly shaken by how sudden and nearby it feels.
The tunnel that we were going down, one bit of the noise in, and I thought I seen lights flashing down the cave, and I absolutely pooped myself.
Toward the end of the exploration, they report seeing lights and movement deeper inside the tunnels, in areas that had not been marked with glow sticks. Combined with the earlier noises and the equipment interference, the group decides not to continue and begins making their way back toward the exit. Old structures can cause ordinary sounds to feel louder and more unusual. Do you think it was just the bunker settling or something else moving in the dark? On September 14th, 2012, a video posted on the YouTube channel Doug My Boy showed a group of amateur divers descending into deep water for an advanced technical dive. What was intended to be a controlled and routine operation quickly became a life-threatening emergency. After a single moment of panic, the situation unraveled almost instantly. Doug, who was filming the dive, suddenly experienced severe vertigo after his eardrum ruptured from the pressure. Disoriented and struggling to stay in control, he tried to signal Wasim, another diver nearby. That small action caused the situation to escalate rapidly out of control. Their instructor responded immediately, stepping in to handle the emergency and stabilize Doug before the dive turned fatal. For a brief moment, it seemed the danger had passed, but as experienced divers know, the ocean rarely gives second chances, and calm conditions can conceal rising risks. Underwater Wasim began showing clear signs of serious distress, likely linked to oxygen deprivation. Recognizing the threat, both the instructor and another diver, Nikki, stepped in to restrain and calm him before the situation worsened further. This dive demonstrates how quickly minor mistakes can become deadly underwater, especially without proper training and sound judgment. Do you think this dive should have been attempted at all, or was it too dangerous from the start? In this clip, Michael Broussard and his father were fishing on Toledo Bend when rough water and high speed threw them from their boat. Without a kill switch engaged, the boat kept racing across the water, creating a dangerous situation. Nearby fishermen quickly saw what happened and rushed in to assist. preventing the situation from becoming fatal. Michael later acknowledged that he had skipped basic safety gear that day, a decision that nearly cost him his life. The takeaway is clear safety equipment matters. Do you think this could have been prevented with better preparation? That's it for tonight. Which moment creep? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story, share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.